This is Gary Lane in Paris with Abigail Robertson. We're your CBN News team here during the terrorist attacks. Abby, this was your first time in Paris. What's your impression?
Well, it's a crazy time to be in Paris, but it's been beautiful. My first time seeing the Eiffel Tower was actually when it was lit up in the French colors, and my first time going to Notre Dame was for the vigil on Sunday. So I've been here for really powerful times for the country, and I've seen that the Parisian people are really strong, and they're not intimidated after the attacks, and they're trying to come together and work through this together.
I mean, we admire the beauty, but it's a little tough with all the sadness and the grief that's going on here to see this rock this nation and such an open society all of a sudden fearful. But we saw that they are out on the streets. They weren't going to cower in fear in their homes.
They're out on the streets, so they're back in cafes, and they're kind of trying to get back to their normal lives. And I think they are, but there's definitely I think the mood has changed around the country, and I don't think that these people feel completely safe going forward. I think that there's tension and a lot of nervousness that this could happen again at any time.
A lot of outpouring of love and support from around the world, and we shared with them what Americans are feeling, that Americans are praying and are very sorry for what happened. What was their response?
They're very touched by what the outpouring of love and support that Americans are giving them. And France is not a very religious country, and I honestly think this is leading them a lot to pray and kind of lean on something other than themselves. So we'll see how God moves in this country following Friday.
And you know, we met that evangelist yesterday, Damien, who had a new t-shirt that said "Pray for Paris." How important is that to pray?
I think it's so important right now more than ever that God doesn't just put his angels around Paris, but every major city in the world, because I think ISIS is just going after innocent people, and I think any city right now is at risk, and we all need to be praying that God changes the hearts of these jihadists. You know, he can work in mysterious ways, and I think he can work in the lives of some of these people who are in ISIS, and we need to pray that the right people reach them or that God reaches them directly.
And I know a lot of times people say, what can we do? And that is one thing that we can do. And your CBN News team will be here in Paris. Follow cbnnews.com. Follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. Abigail has a good following on Twitter as well, and also Instagram, right?
Yes.
And we'll be up to date, bring you up to date with more in the days ahead. Gary Lane in Paris with Abigail Robertson.